Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Full Pelt Music Podcast. I'm delighted. In a moment, I'm going to be chatting with Gallus ahead of the release of their new album, Life is Bliss, on the 25th of September. Before then, the usual reminders from myself, however, please do follow Full Pelt on social media or on Facebook at Full Pelt and X and Instagram at Full Pelt Music. But enough of that. It's time to get on with the podcast, so let's go. Absolutely delighted to welcome Gallus to the Full Pelt Music Podcast today. We've got Eamon and we've got Barry with us. Exciting time for the band, so lots for us to talk about. Before we get into the new album that is on its way, though, I'm going to start off by just checking in on how your summer has been, because I know you've just got back from Germany, where you got to play with the always amazing Biffy Clyro. So how was that experience?
It was very cool. Aye. Did a show in Berlin 2 weeks before. That was very fun. And then the festival in Hamburg. We clashed with Biffy. We both started at 9:30. So we're kind of like, we're not even the best Scottish band playing at 9:30. We were a bit worried about it. Yeah, we were a bit worried about it. But actually had a really good turnout. And then we were side stage for them, spoke to them for a bit afterwards. And we had a good crowd. Thankfully, we weren't playing to like 6 people, as I feared.
We did think was
Yeah, but we had a really good crowd, and it was a good time.
Oh, I'm really glad it went well. I actually got to catch you at 2000 Trees back in July, where you had another great crowd packed into what was allegedly a tent. I felt like it was an oven, personally.
Try playing it. It was. I would just see it being on stage. I remember just thinking, like, just get the notes out my fingers and stay on your feet.
I couldn't think straight.
Yeah.
It was that hot whilst we were playing. I don't know if the crowd thought that felt that as well. It was something mental. Felt like it was like 50 degrees.
Yeah. My girlfriend said I looked like a dog, like left in a car or something.
That's what happened. When I stepped off stage, and I don't know if they were all medics or something, but there were these people in high vis just being like, "Right, you come here," and had to sit me down next to a fan.
No.
It was mad.
I was going to keel over.
I mean, yeah, that is how pretty much the entire weekend felt like to me. Obviously, the intense heat, and I was trying to catch as many bands as possible. And I got to give it to the fans that were at Trees, because they still packed into the tents, and the energy again. Like as you played, I do really remember your set, and a lot of the crowd, despite that sapping heat, were well up for it, and it was a great atmosphere in that tent and a fantastic set.
It was a good show.
Really. Our pal Ewan, by the way, who was with us, who got into the big Marshall. I don't know what he said, that big amp or something. But he got into that, and I can't imagine how warm he must have been. But he at one point he jumped into the crowd, and I looked up, and there was a load of people attacking him. It was quite funny. He was drenched in sweat after that.
I can imagine when he came on. That was my first thought as well. Like, yeah, fair play to him, absolutely. But yeah. A great, obviously, summer to set you up for everything that's coming over the rest of the year. And obviously, the most exciting thing for you on the horizon is Life is Bliss, your sophomore album. It's out on the 25th of September. So, listeners, absolutely still a chance for you to go and pre-order a copy. That's always the best thing to do. How excited are you as we sit here just about a month now, isn't it, ahead of the release? How exciting?
Yes. Last time we released an album was 3 years ago. Did an EP last year. But the buzz of releasing an album is quite it's hard to match, especially because we wrote this album. This whole album was written this year. It was written in the space of just under a month in January, so it still feels very fresh and new to us, and all the songs are kind of, I don't know, it's like not that we weren't excited for the last one, but a lot of the songs were a bit older. Some of them were like up to 3 years old by that point. But now we've got 12 songs. Every single one of them didn't exist before 2026. It's quite cool to have them have quite a quick turnaround and to be sharing music that quickly.
Yeah, very exciting. And we've played. I think we've played like half the album live in shows now.
No, I don't think we've even done that.
It's 5, nearly half.
Yeah.
And they've went down really well.
Yeah.
They've came across really well, so that's quite good. Good to know that we're not shite and we weren't just lucky.
That is always a great barometer for success, getting to play these songs live before they're actually out and fans have properly sometimes been able to listen to them, and you can see that first-hand reaction. And that's a good point you made as well around, obviously, the fact that it's 3 years now since your debut, and often with debut albums, they are built up over a longer period of time. And then you get to that second album where, sometimes historically, you think there's a bit of pressure there to deliver something, but it is a very different record because you're making a record in a much shorter period of time. You've obviously had the experiences you've had with the debut album and the great EP, Call to Drive, that you released last year as well. What does, with all of that in mind, what does this album mean to you?
Probably mean, I don't know. It probably mean quite different things to all of us. I guess I see when you write something in such a short period of time, it's hard to judge that now because that was only written 7 months ago, but it was written in early 2026. I think you would come back and ask me in 10 years, right? Because it will give a snapshot of what my life was at that point and at that age of my life, and that's something that I will enjoy when I'm much, much older.
We're still figuring out what it means.
Yeah,
but it meant something at the time.
Yeah.
And I personally, I think that is what is so great about music is songs, albums. They evolve with time, and the meaning, obviously, as a listener or the artist that created it can obviously evolve as well. And it's just the beauty of the art form of music that I find, not to get too deep in a emotional on this.
I agree. It's weird that there's some songs for lyrics that I've written, and I've written the lyrics at the time, and it's not only till it's only just later on, even could be even years later. I was like, oh, that's what that song was about. You don't know at the time, but you kind of realise it back then.
You have another example. We released a song called Breathless about 2 weeks before the first lockdown hit and coronavirus really kicked off.
Yeah,
it was, and
we had no idea.
The song had nothing to do with COVID, obviously, but that song came out, and then it was like, oh, this global pandemic's about to hit, and it was like, fuck, that song has now taken on entirely new meaning.
Oh, absolutely. Conspiracy theorists probably thought you were in on it.
People were like, oh, is this about the pandemic coming up? And I was like, no, we're not this about Tinder.
I wasn't good for the old search engine optimization. I think it got buried pretty quickly.
Yeah.
People Googling symptoms.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's the danger of the modern world, isn't it? With social media and obviously internet searches. Bands in the past didn't have to worry about that sort of thing. But you've got a great sort of team around you as well as you release this album. That I mean, every time I've interviewed artists from Marshall Records, they've always been full of praise of them. And I know you worked with Blair Crichton from Dead Pony again with the album. Yeah, what was the experience like for the whole process of this album?
Well, we've always felt very supported by Marshall. It's been a great team to work with. The sort of opportunities that they've got from them, it doesn't feel like we could have done it without them. And the way that we just sort of even the way that they see live music, and especially grassroots venues and what the work they're doing for them, just aligned with our morals a lot. So it's really good to feel very much trusted in that team and in that realm. For working with Blair, me and Eamon actually lived with Blair during the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, and we've been
recording the album really did feel like that first week of lockdown.
Yeah.
I get that. Just trapping around together. Farting.
Until it's shot. 15 hour days. But no, it's kind of good. It was good, and we've had that it was when you've been that close with someone, it means you've just discovered everything about them, and it's it makes it easier to work.
Yeah, it does make you more. See, being comfortable with someone you've known for that long. If sorry, we like to swear on the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Like, he could say to us, "That's a shit idea. Don't do that." And we could say the same back to him, and it wouldn't be like weird. It would just be like we're very, do you know what I mean? Being comfortable around each other in that way, you're able to kind of bounce off each other a bit more without worrying too much about hurting the other person's feelings, because you know you've probably hurt them much more in the past, so it's fine. So like you do actually get a better working relationship in that way, being comfortable around each other like that. Whereas if it's someone we just met for the first time and it's like, okay, we're gonna be locked in a room for, you know, a week together. If someone suggests something that's a bit crap, someone might be like, oh, okay. Whereas, you know, if it's Blair and, you know, we know we all love each other, we can be like, nah, bad idea. Bad idea, don't do that. So it actually makes a very streamlined process, I think.
No, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to be a bit boring now. And in my day job, I've sort of created a concept of different sites that I have in my sort of area of responsibility of sending the managers to each other. And I called it a critical friend visit because, you know, they're there to be critical, but actually they're a friend as well. So, you know, you don't need to be fearful of it. And actually you can have that better relationship where you can be frank and honest with each other. And obviously, you know, you're kind of vindicating what I've done in my day job with your experiences of the record. Yeah. So thank you for that.
I will say the other way, and on the other side of that though, I work with my brother in my day job, and I think we were far too comfortable with each other, and it just very quickly turns into us calling each other useless pricks or whatever. So, it can go too far the other way.
That's a valid point. I'll have to add that as a risk. But yeah, I can't wait for listeners to get to obviously hear the album. And one of the first singles, or the most recent single, sorry, that you've been able to put out that listeners can go and check out now and have a listen to, has a direct tie with the making of the album, because you recorded it in Milton Keynes and you've just released MK Des, which has a bit of a tie-in, obviously, with a character you got to meet, I believe, in Milton Keynes, which is a place I visit regularly, and there's a lot of characters in Milton Keynes for sure. So what can you tell us about the song and the meaning behind the song?
Mad Des, man.
Yeah, shout out Des. We met Des in a pub. We were watching a Scotland game. He was also there with his two sons who were English. He was like born in Kilmarnock, lived there for a while, and I think he just heard Scottish accents and was like, so I made a beeline for him. I was like, they are going to be my friends tonight. And we ended up getting pissed with him. And then he was like, oh, when we'll go back to mine, like, back to, oh, fuck, I don't know, just like, I don't know, keep drinking or whatever.
Drinking days.
Back to his wife was up watching like Corey or something. And she saw us walk in the front door, me, Dan, and Barry, and she's like, oh, for fuck's sake, Des.
almost like, oh, not again.
He's like he seemed absolutely sick as pish.
It was actually very nice. It was actually a really nice time. But
it was fun.
We just always talk about it. When just writing this song, we had like a sort of like, there was a sort of idea of FOMO in the sort of song when we were writing the lyrics, and we're just, I don't know, Des and that feeling of FOMO just kind of mixed together. So we just went and ran with it. I
mean, it might not be true at all, but we kind of projected onto Des this idea of someone living vicariously through other people, of something of like a sort of a life that they maybe thought they could have. Maybe thought, oh, there's some young Scottish guys. I'm Scottish. I'm going to go party with the Scottish guys. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we kind of, I mean, I don't know if you visit Glasgow often, but the city centre is seriously in a bad way. Like, there's a big part of Central just burnt down. Sauchiehall Street is like something mad. Like 35% of the shop fronts are boarded up. It used to be quite a busy, bustling street. Yeah. So in like 6 years ago, and just in the last few years, there's been this really like stark decline. And we kind of thought like that we kind of have FOMO in a sense of like, but almost like second-hand FOMO for people who are missing out on something cool that we did enjoy for a few short years when we were younger. And it just kind of, it felt appropriate to name the song after Des for that reason, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does make perfect sense. And, you know, sadly, as I've been to Glasgow, actually, June, I think it was, middle of June. I got up there for work, spent 2 or 3 days up there, and just had a great time, because I do love coming up to Glasgow. Obviously, the Scottish people are so welcoming, and it's just such a beautiful place. You know, I caught the train up, and obviously seeing the scenery on the way up. But obviously everywhere is struggling. There's issues, you know, with high streets, and obviously lack of support for venues, and obviously so many problems for people to overcome just to be able to live their lives in a you know, meaningful way. But yeah, the song itself is fantastic, and I was just checking out the video for it as well. I should touch upon
He
because
was on that, by the way. Sorry, I just remembered. Fucking Glasgow's getting used as Gotham right now.
yeah, it does a lot, doesn't it?
Glasgow's being used in Hollywood films like this dystopian shithole.
Yeah, it's it's a
500
twisted
yards from where
compliment,
we
isn't
are
it?
right now.
It got used for the first Batman film as well. The difference before it was going to shit, but not as shit it is now.
Yeah.
But then it also filmed Batgirl that it all get filmed there, but never came out. Like I think it got shelved for like tax reasons.
Yes.
But one of the actors in it was Brendan Fraser, and he was on like a podcast or something, and he says, "Oh, you're not going to get any better version of Gotham than Glasgow," and it's just like that's not a compliment. I think he was trying to be nice, but everyone was like, "You're right, it's shite."
Yeah, exactly. Oh, bless. But I mean, yeah, I personally absolutely loved my time up there again. I hadn't been for probably about 10 years before I went up in June, and just loved walking around the city again. But as you say, it's yeah, but a blight on the whole of the UK. There's issues in towns and cities.
We don't want to
But
say we're knocking Glasgow too much. We don't want to say like, "Oh, it's fucking crap."
nah,
Like, it's more just kind of sadness that it's sort of lost. It's sort of lack of fulfilling potential. You know
it
what I mean? It's
deserves
not
more
like,
love than it's getting, for sure.
yeah, that's what we're really trying to say. It's not a love letter
Yeah.
to Glasgow, and it's not a complete, you know, takedown of the city either. It's kind of, you know, we love it, but we wish it was being what it could be.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think a sentiment that people across the whole of the UK are going to be feeling about the places that they love and live in. But yeah, the song itself, I think, is going to go over massively live. I just got that sense listening to it, and I was just checking out the video. So listeners, there'll be links in the bio. Please do go and check out the video. We always talk about the videos on this podcast because I grew up with like music TV, Kerrang and Scuzz and whatnot, and obviously used to watch it all the time. So I have such a soft spot for videos, and sadly with the way the industry is, you know, lack of resources, money, time, etc. Often there's not videos to watch. Thankfully, you still invest in videos, which makes me really happy. And the video for MK Des, you know, it's a performance video with stunning sort of aesthetics around it. I really enjoyed just watching you do your thing. So, what can you tell me just quickly about the concept of the video, how you come up for it, and put it into practice?
When we filmed that, we were a matter of hours off of a plane back from Germany, so I think we're all pretty done in, and we got back very, very late that morning.
The sort of ideas and concept of that video came more from the people who made it, who were Humble Film Productions. Two guys called Casper and Eric, who are absolute magicians with like what they get, what sort of equipment they have, and what they can do. They're absolutely amazing. We've been working with them for over half a decade now, and they just wanted to sort of capture the energy, and also like sort of that was filmed in like a warehouse in Glasgow in Maryhill.
Used to be a factory.
Yeah,
it's called, the venue's called the Glue Factory. I don't know if it actually made glue. Maybe it did.
I don't know, but sort of. I think the idea of it was just to sort of capture our energy as performers, but in something that's like not that you can't really tell is in Glasgow, but almost like everything around it is screaming to you that this is Glasgow sort of thing as well.
Former industry and stuff like that. Yeah. I feel like a cool place to do it, and kind of it kind of does sit in nicely with the concept of the song, and you know we kind of want to do a live performance video because you know we were just off the back of 2 weeks of performing.
So. And the location of it was important as well. Our first single, Sick Bastards, came out and we used the Grosvenor Picture Theatre, which is, I believe, the oldest cinema in Glasgow. So like we've been using it's more like locations are probably a bit more important rather than like sort of like ideas for us in this sort of album rollout, because Glasgow is such a dead centre of like at the centre of the album really.
We've got something very cool planned for the next one.
Yeah.
But You'll see what that is.
Yeah, little teaser. Well, a good little segue for me. I always give out the social handles. I feel like I'm very dated in doing that these days because people are pretty savvy enough they're going to find you. You make my life easy because you've only got the one for me to give out, which is Gallus are a band. So wherever listeners you do your social mediaing, go follow the band because you can watch that video when it's released. The band will share it, and you can also check out all of the live dates that the band have got coming up. So you're kicking off after the album release with what is now pretty traditional, a record store tour, which I love these shows because they're always a little bit different to a typical kind of headline show. Have you got anything sort of laid out for these shows yet?
No, because we need to learn the songs first.
That's why we're in our studio right now. We are now starting to plan that out. But we will be playing the album in these record stores. We tend not to really go for acoustic or is like we try not to do stripped back stuff as much as we can. So like there will be, we will try and bring a full gig as much as we can to record shops. That is the plan. I just think whenever we get offered to do, acoustic performances and stuff quite often, I just think a punk band doing like 2 acoustic guitars and Barry doing a breathy version of Sick Bastards. I don't think it's singing in cursive. I think it's going to work. So we just do our thing as much as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the setting of a record store for a proper gig as well because it just can be so funny. I remember seeing a band I really love that have been on the podcast a few times, Pet Needs, down in Colchester in HMV, and they played again punk band, full band set, and I'm just stood there, everyone's going crazy, and I sort of looked to my side and realised that I'm just next to this sort of whole Barry Manilow like setup of things, and it was just like the sort of juxtaposition of that. I just thought that's very funny, but yeah, obviously you follow that with a proper headline tour. So again, listeners need to check out these dates, find a show near you to support the band, support the venues because it's really important. And having caught Gallus only a month or so back, I highly recommend doing so because you're not going to regret it. Obviously, are you excited to get playing these new songs live on these stages? I imagine so.
Yeah, I'm very excited, but also that every time it's a good feeling, but every time you play a song for the first time, like it's one of the few. I haven't done this for a few years now. Playing a new song for the first time is like one of the few ways I get genuine nerves now, and it's but like in a good way. It's like nerves that kind of put you on the edge. Do you know what I mean? A performance on the edge is much better than just like turning them out, kind of thing. So you always a wee bit apprehensive, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to when we get a much better reaction than I was expecting, and when I get a bit of a shit one as well. Those are also learning curves and inevitable.
Yeah. So I should touch on as well because we've spoken about Glasgow a lot, rightfully so. You've got the Art School show in Glasgow coming up, which I believe is your biggest headline show. So I mean, you talk of nerves. Is that something that you're particularly nervous around, or is that just pure excitement at this point?
So the Art School's our biggest headline of that tour. Not our biggest headline show today. Thank Christ, I have that more pressure. But yeah, I've got so the Art School's another venue with like quite sad history. It's like been closed down, but Art School in general's burned down twice.
Burned down twice in 4 years.
Yeah,
just like a lot of buildings in Glasgow, it just randomly caught fire a couple of times.
Yeah,
thankfully though, it's back open.
Yeah, and and we never got to play there when it was like first a venue. So I'm dead excited to play it. So that'll be really good. If anyone listens from Glasgow going to get a ticket, it's nearly selling the bloody hell out.
Please buy a ticket.
No.
Buy a ticket to whatever city is near you, please. Don't buy a ticket if you live in fucking London or something. Buy a ticket to the London show.
But actually, Glasgow's always a really good time for me. I always a great night in to play. It always kind of goes off. When we play game.
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, I echo your sentiments absolutely. Listeners, buy a ticket to a show, obviously that's potentially near you. But actually, I'll even add, you know what? Where better to see Gallus than Glasgow? You know, if you can, Glasgow is a lovely place. You know, despite being used as Gotham oftenly. You know, get yourselves up there and go and catch this show. Going to be really, really worth it. So much to be excited about with the band. Obviously, Life is Bliss is out on the 25th of September. Listeners, obviously, you've got MK Des that they can now check out for the latest taste of it. So they're all my pushes to the listeners. The final question I always ask on this podcast, following a bit of a chat around the live side, and you've touched on Marshall are great at supporting independent venues. It obviously is something you're passionate about as well. So I ask every guest or guests, so you can have one each if you'd like, just to give a shout out to a venue that means something to them. So where would you like to give a shout out to?
Well, I would say that it's a venue that's not there anymore, but a venue that we cut our teeth in and our manager used to own is a venue called the Priory. That's where like our sort of era of Glasgow music, the Glasgow music scene, which was like really, really like, bouncing at the time. That's where everyone hung out and where contemporaries became pals, and like it really fucking what made our 20s what it is really. And would
you like to make a venue that does exist?
Well, just a special honourable mention, but I'll say another venue. Try to think. They're all closing down.
Do you mean just like in like a venue where we've played, or in Glasgow specifically?
That you've played, that you've visited, just a venue that it means something to you.
Venue that I love, and I think as a pub, is in my top 5 pubs in the world, is the Castle Hotel in Manchester. I love it so much. It's like it's now absolutely extortionate for a pint, but it's absolutely worth it. That's a great venue. We played a great show there as well a couple of years ago. And in Glasgow, there's a great wee place that now is there's a pizza restaurant upstairs now, the Hug and Pint, which is always a good. They've always got great bands coming on before they get big, and it's just really, really good. So I would say Hug and Pint as well.
Absolutely love it. And the venue that serves pizza is always on to a winner. There's one in Norwich called Voodoo Daddies, which I believe you are going to be playing. Yeah.
It's the best smelling venue I've ever been in.
I know, does it smell of piss? Smell of dough? That's class.
But I mean, these venues are just so important for obviously bands such as yourself, fans that love to get out to music, such as myself. You know, none of us would be able to do it if it wasn't for the great people that run these venues. You don't run an independent music venue in 2026 with the concept of making money. Let's face it, you're doing it because you love to support live music. So, listeners, absolutely check out the venues mentioned, and check out the tour.
Speaking of venues that do Scran as well. There's one in Brighton. There's also a vegan place that we've played before. I can't remember the name of it.
Open Room?
No,
I don't know.
But that's class and all. Very good Scran.
Oh, I think a new
Scran. You're high up my list.
This is it. I think a new subgenre of venue has just opened up for this question. What's your favourite venue that also serves food? Because that is something that is close to my heart. Thank you both so much, obviously, for giving up your time to come on the podcast. Listeners, I'll go for it quickly again. Life is Bliss, 25th September. Pre-order it, please do. It helps so much. Follow the band on social media. Gallus are a band. You can check out the video. You can buy yourselves tickets to the shows. It's such a good time to get invested into Gallus. That is my final message. What would be your final message for the listeners today?
Gallus is spelled Gallus. A lot of people search like Gallus as in like William Gallus. You get that a lot.
So first of all, stop being stupid. Second of all, thank you very much. Thanks for the support over the years. Please support us another time and buy our shit and see our shit.
Yeah, I'd like to echo that sentiment. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely the best final message. Thank you both so much, obviously, for coming on the podcast.
Cheers, man.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. I really do hope you enjoyed that chat with Gallus. Do make sure you check out their new album, Life is Bliss, out on September the 25th. You can also check out their headline dates on social media, where you can also find Full Pelt at Full Pelt on Facebook and Full Pelt Music on X and Instagram. please do also give us a like and a follow, because we'll be back very soon with another episode of the Full Pelt Music Podcast.